Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. In yesterday's video, we started work on a new part of the project, and today I want to continue to do that, and hopefully, with a little bit of luck, this video will serve as a template for the types of prompts that we can use to get Claude to create code that works exceptionally well straight off the bat, taking on board all of the lessons that I've learned in the 40 or so videos I've done so far. So just for some background context, if you're jumping into this video for the first time, basically I've spent a huge amount of time so far working on this authentication backend, so user registration and login. And now what we've done is we've embedded that as a submodule in this new project, which now I'm just calling Knowledge Bank. It's basically inspired by the Zettelkasten method for note taking. And in yesterday's video, or the previous video to this one, we set up all of our models and we've run test for all of the models, so they now pass. But really, the focus now is to create some new functionality and do it with all of the lessons that I've learned in terms of being able to prompt Claude effectively. So we're going to start here, and we are going to start with a new chat in our existing project, which has all of the backend functionality. Yeah, so what we're going to do is say all of your project knowledge is all of the files in your project knowledge form the basis of our user registration and login / authentication backend. I have since leveraged these files as a submodule. If you don't know what a submodule is, basically it allows you to use kind of one set of files as a module within a new project, so that you can kind of leverage the same backend in this instance for multiple different projects. In a new project I am calling Knowledge Bank. This project allows a user to create notes that have sources and tags. I have attached the models for each of these to this chat. So let's do that. Let's attach those. Pull this over here because I need to go into a different. Okay, now I have also set up both our app and server, as well as the config and setup file for our just tests. Okay, so let's attach those as well. Tests, setup, and config. Where's config? Alright, what I now want you to do is write the code for one specific piece of functionality. So this is a real lesson learned, right? Just ask Claude to do one thing at one time. So the user story that we're focusing on is this. The user story we are focusing on for this piece of functionality is as follows. So as a user, I want to create a note with a title, body, tags, and optionally a source, so that I can capture and organize my thoughts effectively. Therefore, the functionality required is create a new note with title, body, tags, and optional source, assign existing or create new tags, link existing source or create a new one. Yep. And then yeah, we're not going to have tags and source, so the API endpoint we need to create therefore is a post request to /API/notes. You will so I just want to revise this functionality a little bit. So right is create a new note with title, body, tags, and optional source. If the user opts to add tags, we should say optional tags as well, add tags, then we also need to create those tags if they don't already exist. If they do exist, we use the same tags, but we ensure that we don't end up with duplicate tags based on categorization, i.e. marketing should be treated the same as marketing. Right. If a user opts to add a source, we also need to create that source. Alternatively, a user can link an existing source when creating. I'm just conscious that it might be a bit confused of how we're going to do this. So for our backend, we would be linking an existing source by the document ID. Alright. Okay, so then when creating this functionality, we want to keep it very specific and focused on this one use case. It will be within our components folder and subfolder titled add new node. Oops. Therefore, the directory path is components / add. Actually, hang on, it'll be add new node like that. Then within this the following files will be created: add new node.routes.js, add new node.controller.js, add new node.services.js, add new node.utils.js, add new node.validation chains.js if validation chains are required. And then we'll say here, I know it is normal to use global utils. Is say best practice to use a global utils approach, but we want to keep all of the logic for adding new nodes within this file folder structure. So if we need utils, they should be added here, right? Okay, now other important considerations for you to know about. The one concern I have is that we're not, our project knowledge base isn't aware too much of what we're doing now, right? It knows all of the backend. So yeah, that's the only part where I think this prompting could go askew. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to leverage our error handling. First of all, actually, we are using Node.js on the backend with Express.js v5 Mongoose / MongoDB. In our auth backend submodule, we have error handling built out. This is accessed via /auth backend /middleware /error middleware and /auth backend /utils /app error.js and auth backend /utils /error types.js. Equally, you have access to the error base. And finally, we are also leveraging our auth backend submodule for authentication. The route will be authenticated. Our authentication middleware is available as auth.js in your project knowledge and is accessible via auth backend /middleware /auth.js. So there's a little bit more prompting we have to do here, I think, because it's just the difference with the knowledge base. haven't really thought, maybe if we created a new project and gave Claude upfront all of the paths to all of the files, that would be advantageous. So we might do that. But let me just read through this. So submodule, create node. What else is there to consider? For error handling. And then only file we can't add more files. Bummer. Just saying, before you proceed, please let me know if you have any questions. All right, let's go. Yes, one, yes, fleeting. For tag 3, yes, handle. All right, that was some good questions. I think it shows, like, they're fairly simplistic, so I think it shows that we really gave a lot of context of what we want to do. So let's have a look at this as it comes through. So add new node validation chains. We're checking that the title's there. We're checking body is there. We're checking that tags are optional. If tags provided. So here, what's the type? Object ID. Each must either be a valid object ID or string of new tags. Yep. All right. Well, now service layer. So create new note. Why is it got this? Create new note start session. I don't even know what that means. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, so note, handle source creation linking. Create a new note, handle tags, create note, throw error. I mean, it's not error. It's not using our error handling. Controller, create note, routes, bring in authenticate. Has brought invalidate request, which I forgot to tell it to do, but that's good, it knows that. Okay. I think that looks pretty good to me. So let's switch screens. We'll bring this over here. Sorry, I'm just doing this in my lunch break and someone's calling me. So I'm going to pause the video here and we will take off exactly from here in a minute. Okay, let's start creating these new files. So we're going to pull this over here, we're going to pull this up here, bring this over here, and we are going to add our folder structure, components. We said add new note, and then inside add new note, we will start with our validation chains. So that's what Claude has done. Add rename. Copy, paste, save. Now looking at this, we need to install Express Validator. So let's just do that as we go. npm express-validator. All right, next file is our services layer. So copy, new, add new node.services.js. Save that. Just check very quickly on the imports. Yep, looks fine. And then create the controller. So copy, new, add new node.controller.js. Save. No data. Tags, parent tags. Right, and then routes. Add new node.routes.js. Save. Looks like it's bringing everything correctly, and then we need to create our core routes folder, and then in here we need an index.js. All right, we're going to copy that, paste that. Notes, yep. Okay, and then we need to, what else do we need to do? All right, then we need to add in our routes here. What else am I forgetting anything else? No, I don't think so. So const routes equals require from our routes, and then under express we need to, no, under this we need to do app.use /API/ no, routes. Actually, we should keep the same format. So if we go here, app.js. Oh, not that. What's backend? App.js. API v1. Let's do that. Alright, let's close this. Okay, save. Alright, now we don't have Node 1 installed, so npm run start. We should probably install Node 1 so that it can automatically start if we make changes. What's not found? Cannot find. I've got this weird console log happening somewhere. It's driving me nuts. Add new note. It's meant to be chains. Right. npm run start. What's this? Missing. This happened before. This happened yesterday. It's this weird error. I tried. I'd consider this error separate to the prompting. I think it's because of this. So in app.js, error middleware. We're just going to pull this down here. Actually, maybe it's because we had, get rid of that. Okay, there we go. It was to do with that. So what we can do is if we come here, we should theoretically be able to use this same login route. So it's login. Okay, fantastic. Now what we want to do is, I'm going to pull this all the way over here. We need to close some of these down. We're going to go new route. We're going to do a post request. We're going to copy this, put that here. But we, instead of auth, we are going to hit routes /note. Okay. Where is it? Yeah, just notes, sorry. Notes. In our header, we need to put in a bearer token. Authorization, sorry, bearer token. And we can come here and copy. Right, and then in the body, raw body JSON, and if we look at so no controller, we need these fields. So just pull this over here, and we'll go object, so title. Let's change my keyboard layout. Title. This is a new note. And then we'll go body. This is the body of a note. Then tags. So tags, let me just check. It should be an array. Yeah, it's an array of tags. So tag 1, tag 2. And then source. Now source needs to be source is an object, I think. Let's not put in source just this first one. And parent tags we don't need to worry about. So let's just try this. Send route not found. Index.js. /notes. What am I missing? This is going to be a minor issue. Let's just double check. So in API v1, let's kill that. So API v1. Then in here we've got notes. I'm not really sure why that's not working. Let's add this debugging script. So, where's that? So, besides this one issue, I'm hopeful. Send incoming request. Oh, hang on. We don't have NodeMon installed. So it's not NodeMon, if you don't know, automatically restarts the server every time you say something. Right. Send. Add new note route. Let's just check that that's going to that. Yeah, route. Validate, create note. Okay. Let's add this to here. And save. Again, restart server. Send. So incoming request. Interesting. This doesn't get called. Error route. Let's just check if we. Add new note. Routes. Send. is our routes. Hang on, in app.js, are we importing it correctly? Yeah. Yeah. That's so bizarre. It's going to be a simple mistake. I know what it is. Okay. Setting up routes in index.js. Okay. It might be in routes. We're going to append create, save this. And then go create, send. What the hell? Why is that not found? Yes. How do I? I'm not considering this like issue with prompting. I think it's just a setup thing. So I'm hoping still once we actually get to run this that the prompts work, and then we can once and for all say how good it was. Router is not defined. Place this. Sorry. Let's try. Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay. So this is to do it's suggesting that because we've got auth routes as well, it might be an issue because it's both using the same API. change this to auth. Tokens. So I think this is now going to be auth, just for now. Send. Yep. Copy. That's not great. What we might do then is change this to auth knowledge. Save. Alright, log in. Now why is that route not found? Oh, it's not because of that. Okay. Copy. Back here, header, update bearer. Token. And then this is knowledge. It's got to go there. I don't understand, this is crazy. Go there. Alright, try again. Sorry, just had to pause for a second. So I added in these console logs, and then yeah, the recommendation was just to add auth. So again, so I've tried to do that, and then we still get token is invalidated. I'm not exactly sure why it's having so much trouble. So what we're actually going to do is, I just want to see if this approach to our and this isn't even, this has been changed. No. Where's, just going to comment out authenticate for a second. I just really want to test if our approach to writing those prompts is going to work as I expect it to, i.e. prompting really well just gets this code to work straight out of the box. So let's turn off authenticate, let's hit send and see what happens. Seems stuck. Might just be taking a while. Okay, no idea. Why is it taking so long? try again. It's hitting the endpoint. I just don't know why it's taking so long, or not returning an error. This is very frustrating because obviously we're not getting it to work. So we'll add some console logs in. In our services file. I think it might be because of these transactions. I don't understand why it's using these. I've never done that before. Issue. Alright, the issue is with Mongoose start session. Yeah, it's okay, obviously. It was with that services thing. I don't know why it was using that, so let's just try this again. And we get this error. Okay, that might have been just because the database wasn't connected in time. So let's try again. No. Okay, we've actually run out of Claude messages. Clearly, I think reflecting back on this, we've added a little bit more complexity with the submodule, which has been causing this issue with the routes. I still think our prompting is probably okay. But clearly it could do better. So yeah, look, we're going to wrap the video here. I'll fix it up a little bit later on when I've got more time to come back. We'll try and fix that login. Fix the token issue when the route's authenticated, and re-look at our prompts to see if we can get this working correctly. Anyway, catch you next one. Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. We're going to actually redo some of the functionality from yesterday. If you watch that video, you'll know that we created quite a long prompt leveraging a lot of the insight that I've kind of gained from creating, I don't know how many files now and how many lines of code. And it definitely did a good job in terms of writing the code, but we did run into a few challenges, and I think it largely comes down to the complexity of the kind of data model. So what I've done is I just asked ChatGPT and described what I'm trying to achieve, and this is a much better representation of the JSON object that you would pass in for a request. So you've got the title, body and tags for the node, and then you've got the source, which is its own object with title and all these details, and then some additional fields here, status, expiry, context. It's got the text wrong there, but that's fine, that's not a problem. Because yeah, if we come over here and we go out of auth and we go components, yeah, add new note services. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't think Claude really understood what we were doing. And I was just going down this rabbit hole. This was its second attempt at doing it. I think we're still running into an error with some database connection issue. I'm not too sure. So we will cover that in a second. But what I want to do, first of all, is take our initial prompt, rework this, and just make sure that we can get it just that little bit better. And we'll have another crack at creating this functionality. So just go to like new prompt, and let's put this in here. So all of the files in your project knowledge base, in your project start again. All of the files in your project knowledge form the basis of our user registration and login authentication backend. So we do have that added complexity in that. If we come back here, I've created all of this functionality now essentially as a submodule, and you can see that in our project here in this auth backend. So it is adding more complexity than just kind of straight asking it to create new functionality. I've since leveraged these files in a submodule in a project I'm calling Knowledge Bank. The project allows the user to create notes that have source and tag. I've attached the models of each of these to the chat. I think it's important to say here, while these are separate models, the user may pass in all of the fields when creating a new note. Now, what we can say, for example, here is how the JSON object would be structured for someone creating a new note with a new source and new tags all in one code. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come here, I'm going to copy this, paste this here, and I'll just say this example already assumes there are other linked notes and sequential links, but these are of course optional. The default status for a new note is also fleeting rather than permanent, and there is no mandated requirement to provide tags or a source. Right. So then I'll say I've also set up both our app and server as well as the config and setup file for our Jest test also attached. What I now want you to do is write the code for one specific piece of functionality. The user story we are focusing on for this piece of functionality is as follows. As a user, I want to create a note with the title body tags, optionally as source, so that I can capture and organize my thoughts effectively. Therefore, the functionality required is create a new note. We also need to create those tags. Existing source when creating a different ID. So what we need to do, what I also want to say here, to be very specific, what I envisage is one, a controller that accepts the request to create a note. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down here, because here we say within our components folder and subfolder titled add new note, we have these files. So then I'm going to say here, to be very specific, what I envisage is a controller that accepts the request to create a new note. This controller calls a service in add new note.services.js, which in turn calls utils that are in our add new note.utils.js file. Each of these utils do one specific thing. For example, create a note, create a tag, tags, create a source, etc. The functionality must be very compartmentalized. Right, other important considerations for you to note: we're using Node.js on the backend with Express.js v5, Mongoose, MongoDB. In our auth backend submodule, we have error handling. Yep. We need to use this error handling and other middleware, other relative middleware in the new project, in the new knowledge project too. Okay, and then if we look at the functionality it asks, we'll just ask it again if it has any other questions, I think. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this, come here, we're going to paste all this in. I really want it to go here. It's annoying how it does that. I might, let me go one time. I don't think it makes a difference, but copy. And actually, before I do this, before I hit send, I came across a tip yesterday, which we will do in a second. Oh my god, I keep clicking wrong. Let's go to here. I just want to get this here so I can see the chat in the future without having to open things back up. Is that what we went to? Yeah. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. All right, now we need to attach these files again. So we had note source tag set up in jest config. So knowledge bank models. Knowledge bank tests set up. I wonder, can I add another 3? Will it let me? Actually, what I might do is say actually come back here. Where do we say? Please. I think it's better to provide it with app and server now rather than the jest config and the test files, because we're not asking it to write tests at the moment. So we can maybe give it a bit more context there. And then the thing I was told, if I open a new tab, settings, artifacts. So ask Claude to generate content like code snippets, tech documents, or websites, and Claude will create an artifact that appears in a dedicated window alongside your conversation. Someone said to turn this off. But we do want code snippets. Why would you turn this off? If you turn off artifacts in Claude Web, I think what they're saying is that it's like this, like, so if you don't, it'll provide it here in just the chat. I don't know, I haven't turned it off before, as opposed to opening in a new thing. And let's turn it off, and let's turn off chat suggestions. I don't need chat suggestions. Let's send this and see what it says, and then update our code and see if we can get it working. If not, we can always turn artifacts back on. But apparently turning artifacts off, it saves a bunch of tokens for every chat, like 10k tokens per chat or something. Okay, 1, yes. 2, yes. Extend. Yes. Yes, create. Yeah, so without artifacts, it just puts it here in the chat. Still gonna work for us. So if we can save some tokens and get a few more messages a day, I think that'd be advantageous. Okay. This is much more straightforward than the previous code it provided. So I'm glad we've reprompted it. All right, happy days. That looks pretty good to me. I did say that yesterday, but let's give this a crack. So we'll start from the top and we'll go with our index.js file. So in index, let's just have a quick look here at what changed. It's brought in authenticate directly, which is great. I think I've just realized where we had an error yesterday. Okay. Maybe not. Okay, in validation chains. Copy. It's still just throwing a new error rather than using the error types, but we will cover that later. Utils. Now, yesterday didn't require utils, so let's add that in. Add new node.utils.js. Paste. Okay. A service layer, so services. Save. New note controller. Save. And then in our new note routes, save. Okay, so what we are going to do is npm -d nodemon. Just going to install nodemon. We didn't have that set up yesterday, so if we go here, package.json, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be dev dependency. Actually, it's not. Do we have nodemon? That's weird. Why don't you have to install nodemon? Anyway, package scripts. So then npm dev. Sweet. So now if we make changes, it should automatically update for us. And then what we can do is come here to Postman. So we need to log in. So go to our login route, hit send. Hit send. Logged in. Take this, copy. Come to here, error. Paste that. Now in our body, let's take where's our example? Copy this, but let's get rid of this. Get rid of parent tag. Okay, now let's just look at the route. So the route is /notes, just /notes, and let's send. Expecting double quoted, Jason 84. Authentication token missing. Okay, so we're still getting the same issue as yesterday. Token has been invalidated. Why is it doing this? So let's log in again. Copy. I wonder if that's my mistake on the. Do I need to also pass a refresh token in? Let's just check that. I don't understand why it's not working. Let's just check something. So let's log in. Let's copy this token. Copy. Let's go to manage user MFA. Actually, let's go to, yeah. and then let's pass into the header Vera token. Let's hit send. Root not found. Okay, so let's just check that. So auth roots, no, components, toggle MFA. Okay, and just go here. Okay, toggle MFA. It's still trying to look in knowledge bank. See, so right, so what I'm going to say, actually, let's do one thing. Let's take out authenticate just for a second. Let's go here, and also that's fine. Let's just try and create the note again. So we don't need token. Send. The same thing is happening yesterday. Operations tag. So then, let's go. Great, the code looks good. I think we are running into an issue with the use our submodule. When I can call the login route from our submodule in auth backend. But when I then take the Vera token and pass it into the header for the route that creates a new note, it says that the token, what does it say again? Invalid or expired? I'm going to need to turn this function on. Got this function on. It displays this message. Currently, I am still trying to use the database config from our auth backend submodule. Maybe that is also related to the issue. Please let me know what you think is causing this, and remember that all of the original code for the auth backend is in your project knowledge. Right. Okay. So I gotta do this. Alright, so at least it's given us the answer. I thought this might be the case. So what we're going to do is create these files. So in our knowledge bank project folder, we need to create the db.js file. I'm going to copy this, paste this, save that. I'm just going to do this off screen because I need to. Oh no, I can keep the same Mongo URI. Rename, sorry. DB URI, Mongo DB URI. Modify the server.js. Copy, save. We have that, and then in app.js, so bring in those imports. Express, cause, helmet, Morgan, logger, sanitize, error, check suspicious, not found error. Save, bring in the routes, mount the routes. Alright, I think that should work. Sorry, 2 secs. Okay. Let's now, I have in my .m file, I have still connected to the same database. I just, hopefully that works. If it doesn't, I can set up another one, but I'm just trying to save time. So send. Actually, auth, that's wrong. Index, sorry. No, actually, okay, find one user is timed out. Let's try and register a new user, just in case that's the issue. If not, we might need to set up a separate. Not found. Routes. Send. All right. To exclude this being an issue, let's can I create another cluster for free? Why can't I just? You should be able to. Let's call this knowledge bank. Oops. Great. Now I need to remember how to connect to this. So it's probably going to be this. How do I connect to this again? Overview, refresh. I remember I had trouble doing this before because I couldn't find connect. I've already done that. How do I? How do I connect to a specific database? Let's go. How do I connect with to a specific database in Mongo DB Atlas with the connection string? Clusters connect. Okay. Just put this here. Clusters MongoDB. Connect. Copy, done. Say this is what Mongo knowledge bank. Yeah, I think this is my collection. Place, yeah. Okay, gotcha. So this is going to be knowledge bank. Save, kill that, run that again. Alright, let's try and register a new user. Incoming request. Okay, I get this error. I'm trying to create a new user first. I get this error. Okay, so let's do this, copy. And then, well, in app.js, what's it updated? Okay, let's try again. It's not working. So let's just go, here's my okay, let's just copy that, save that, and then what's it saying? So can you, or you already have it. So in the saying MongoDB connected, so it is connecting. Debug incoming request. I don't think it's the route, but let's just change that because no, route not found. Okay, so this is my .env. Okay. I also see following so that's interesting. So instead of connecting, so I think we get rid of this, run this, save, and then create a file to export the Mongoose models that your auth backend will use. So in models, models.js, copy, paste, save. Okay, let's go back. We will just, I'm going to kill the server and then restart it just in case. Okay, again. Then if we go register a new user, notice we hadn't saved a file, sorry. Okay, these console logs still, and the following error when trying to create register. Okay, making progress, so it seems like I think we're still almost connecting. Still have database. Okay, copy. Save. Update server.js. Connect. Copy. Save. Get connection is not a function. Right, and then app.js. Copy. Main project. Mongoose. Right, let's just check the version. So we're on 8.8.2 and 8.7.1. Still getting the same issue. I need to take a quick break and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back. We still get the same issue. I think it's still connecting to two databases. So I just want to go here. So we go to database and we go to, let's put here, we'll put knowledge bank. And then we're going to put here, 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 here. Let's save that. Okay, so this. So does seem like, okay, I added knowledge bank to the console logs. Let's do that. Ooh. Yes, the auth. I'm pretty sure, like, I thought the way this was working was, like, up until this, like, actually, how would that work? Yeah, because the submodule has that, but then wouldn't it say that route's not found? I reckon it's because, yeah, it's probably now got something to do with the route. Okay, so let's go here. Save that. Create a database. I will be back. Yeah, sorry about that. Just on my lunch break and had someone call me. So, gonna give it our index.js file before I ask some other questions. We've got our long chats issue. Okay, so it's quite a bit to do, and I'm just thinking through it because one of the things that we're going to run into is in auth backend. We should really update it in that folder, and then push these changes. Let's just do this though. So package.json, we need to add these peer dependencies. And we're going to get rid of Mongoose here. And we've missed a closing bracket. And add that in. And then in here, doesn't it like dependencies? Oh, hang on. Peer dependencies. Then it's saying in here we need to database app.js. Originally it's saying to put this code. We might need to update that. Why doesn't it like this? And then modify any files in the auth backend that import Mongoose to import it from the local file instead. Oh, man, it's a real pain. Let's just share. Actually, later on it changes it to be this. So in app.js, auth routes, no, not in auth backend. Yep. Then in knowledge bank shared, and then mongoose.js, save, and then update database, save, and back in auth backend, database should just be that. Okay, do I also need to update copy? So this is going to be a bit of a pain. Anywhere where Mongoose is used. I just realized these are going to fail because it needs to go up 2 levels. Might be a central way of managing this, but for now, let's just go with this. Alright, I think that should be most of it. Okay. So what? Body. Must have taken out that. Cannot find. Oh, save. There's going to be a few of these. Cannot find. Up 1, up 2, up 3. part 1, part 2, part 3. Dear. Okay, maybe. All right, so now that we've done that, it said to delete the node modules folder. Can't speak. Node modules, and then also do the same here. Once that's finished. Oh dear. Come on. Why is it taking so long? Waiting. Come on. Ah, come on. Something's obviously not happy or working. Let me try and delete the other node modules to see if it can do two things at once. Just done that. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how you can't like pause it or restart it. Obviously killing the server's not going to do anything, I don't think. Maybe you couldn't delete it because the server was running. Okay, let's get rid of it. No problem. Okay, so npm install. We'll try and run it, and then we will. Npm run dev. If this doesn't work, I will need to come back to this a bit later. Oh, what is this? I'm gonna say I did this. I knew this was going to happen because the modules aren't stored. Okay, so cd auth npm install. didn't give me all the instructions before. It said only do it in knowledge bank, but obviously then the dependencies for our backend aren't going to be there. It's frustrating. Come on. Got places to be, people. Things to do. Okay, cd npm run dev. Okay, it's connected. Let's try. Let's make this 76, just in case. Send. It's my mistake. We've got an issue there because it has actually created the user without bcrypt. Fix that at some point. Come on, please work. Happy days. So, actually, log in. Send. Auth. This is just auth. Send. Awesome. Token. Copy. Create the note. Add in the authorization. Paste this. Send. Route not found. Let's just check. So index. Notes. Component. Let's just add create, just in case it's being picked up by a catch-all. See, still trying to call our backend routes. In app.js. And put authenticate back in here. So I think when we do that, we can get the other issue again. Now we get that same token issue. No. Okay, that's frustrating. Did all that work, achieved nothing. We'll stop it there. All right, can we continue on? I just asked, gave Claude some insight, basically saying, look, if we don't have authentication enabled, we can call the route, this test route I created, but if we do have it, doesn't work, so it's now saying to create some middleware, and we'll see if we can get a little bit more insight from it that way. So in not auth backend, in this main file I'm called middleware, create a new file called what's it called? Debug auth.js. Paste this functionality in here, and then we will add this into our index.js file. So we'll bring in debug auth, and then we will add it here prior to the authenticate, so we can save that. And then we will come back, where are you, Postman, and we will try and hit the route again. So bearer token version mismatch. Okay, I think token version is changing. Let me just think about, let me just try one more thing. To register a new user. And then copy. Log the user in, send, get our token, copy, send. So when you create a user, it creates a token, and then when you log in, it creates another token. I think that might be the issue. So I believe if you So in register, we're going to need to make these changes as well in the core project, which is going to be a real pain. You're going to have to go back. Alright, so register new user service. Verify email. Save. So we need to okay, let's try this. Send. Verify. Come on. Don't know why it takes so long to connect. There we failed to connect. Just getting this error now, it's failing to connect. Come on. Deconnect, send, verified. All right, log in. 79, send, token, copy. Here. Send. Token has been validated. Token version 2. It's not saving the user. This is our test database. It's not correctly connected. It's not correctly connected. Connect. That's weird. Why isn't it working? Collections. Oh no. It is there. Just hadn't refreshed. Okay. So 77, token version 2. And what token version does it want? So if I log in again, and I come back here and I refresh, why is it still token version 2? Okay, so when the user logs in, we aren't incrementing it either. So copy this, find that. Version 2, old version 1. So that's when they verify. And then copy login controller, authenticate user, generate, okay, yeah, so we fix that, but in our login service we call and we aren't incrementing. Okay. So I think we might need to create a brand new user. Why it's taking so long to connect. It's really frustrating. Oh man, we haven't really been able to prove what I want to do with the beta. Right. To register a new user. 80. Send. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on. The hell? Verified. Crazy. Where's token version? All right, so here we're going to type token version and user token version. I have a feeling we're going to run out of messages. You're right. Just log in again. Unauthorized error is not defined. Oh, hang on. Didn't realize I didn't have the imports. Come on. Oh my god. It worked. Oh jeez. We finally got there. That's amazing. It finally worked. I do want to check though, because the issues ended up being in our auth middleware. Did we I don't know if we had to go through all of that other stuff. So we need to fix that up now. Oh. Oh my goodness. What we're going to do is chat. Might not do this now, I'm just interested. If I So what we're going to do is hey, h2 must do undo okay. We actually just make sure we had to get ignore. So despite the trouble that we had with the two projects, well, it ended up not being a problem with the two projects. I think what we eventually saw, despite all that trouble, was code that was successfully written with a prompt, and it created this functionality without any real issues. So what I need to do now is fix up those problems. Then we can proceed to testing this functionality. And then what we can do is we can come back here and we can update our prompt. And this will kind of be the model, I guess, moving forward. I've probably got to give it a little bit of structure so that I can share it and everyone knows. It's kind of like, I guess, background, example data structure, user story, more detailed explanation of the functionality, detailed explanation of the files, detailed explanation from a high level of functions, and then important considerations. Then if we could find some way of automating this to a degree, maybe using a chat GPT, GPTs, like one of these things, we should be able to do it quicker. And I'm not 100% convinced yet, but turning off those artifacts, I mean, it definitely feels like this is a long chat. And I know I've been back and forward and taking breaks during the day because had to stop and whatnot. But we never hit the message limit, so that's a pretty good find. Anyway, I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching.